thanks for joining me with another episode of James Montreal Beer Review. You've tuned in into the episode 14 of season 4, so well into my second half of this season, and another American beer today. American beer, but it's an English style. Please welcome Rogue Brittle Bitter out of Rogue Ales, out of Newport, Oregon. One of the most known, I guess, and biggest craft beer makers in the States. Probably after like Sam Adams and Stone and things like that, and Sierra Nevada. I've had this bottle, it's a big bomber, probably about 5 months now, so it's not very fresh. I was kind of holding on to it because it used to be sold in Toronto, in Ontario, or province really, but they discontinued this one, and once I realized that, I kind of thought maybe I should wait for beer to review this beer. But I also got another Rogue Bomber coming up, and I might get one soon because I'm going to Toronto this weekend, so I'll probably bring back some good beers. And I'm planning to do some beer review, at least one with my friends, maybe another friend as well will join. We'll see which beer it's going to be, but I think it's going to be something either winter related or some imperial beer we might get. So anyways, ESB it's an English style of beer. And sometimes they call it extra special bitter, sometimes extra strong bitter, sometimes it's just a premium bitter. It's all referring to the same thing really. So I'm going to talk about the style right away without having to interrupt. No need for that really. It's an English style of beer, bitter in general. It's another kind of common name for pale ale. While some brewers are actually trying to, get the point across that they're brewing pale ale, most people go to pubs and stuff. They refer to these beers, especially if they're served in cask, they refer to them as bitter ales. Tracing back to probably the 18th, 19th century when the word bitter was just was a mean of identification of beer that's different from a mild or porter, which are really not hoppy beers at their origin at least. But bitters are, they use pretty nice hops in it. Of course, American craft beer drinkers are going to laugh at the amount of hops the original English bitters have in them, but regardless of that, they're still more hoppier than milds, so brown ales, porters and stouts, things like that. And then ESB came about, probably Fuller's coined the word ESB, extra special bitter, coined the champion ale. These are beers that are slightly stronger in ABV, so you would not see a ESB below probably 4.5% ABV. Sometimes they go up to like 6 and 7%. This particular one is actually 6.2, and I'm happy I'm getting to review the Canadianized version of this beer because I think from what I've seen on YouTube and other reviews and stuff, the net, Rogue do not put the ABV for the American market. I don't know why. It's the stupidest thing in my opinion, but at least they put all the descriptions and everything in the bottle. We'll take a look at that in a sec. So come back to the style. And then ESB is not only sometimes they use more hops, but usually it's not the case. It's the malt, so it's all about balance. And the malts are very fruity and quite complex. Looking back at the Fuller's ESB, which I recently revisited that. It's a very complex maltiness you get, as well as some nice floral hoppiness and the biscuity touch as well to it. So we're going to see how Rogue performs. It's my first time trying this one, but I've heard good things about it, so it should be good. Alright, let's examine the bottle quickly. As I've said, 6.2% ABV, 650 mils, which equals 22 ounces. An imperial style bitter, using exotic traditional floor malts, hoppy citrus flavour, this stupendous hop aroma, hedonistic. And the serving, you can pair this with hot spicy food or beef. And it says no chemicals, additives or preservatives used. Also tells you the Plato, the IBUs, which is 59, and it's 100% pure Rogue. So let's open the bottle. Nice label too. Usually very typical for a Rogue. They use pretty good colours for this one. Actually, it really stood out in the liquor store I was buying this at. Crack it open. It's my probably third cap like that. Pretty good aroma so far. I'm using my trusty Nonic from St. Ambrose. Should be a good beer actually. So you can kind of sense that. Pretty soapy, light tan head to it, and the body is definitely murky, kind of cloudy. And I'd say it's just amber in colour, which is a bit pale for if you compare it to English special bitters like Bombardier or English ESB. Smells very appropriate, with a nice American touch to it, I guess. A bit more citrusy hops, just as the bottle told us, and very complex malt sensing actually. Apple, let's say plums, definitely some caramel background. Also something I can't really put my finger on yet. I'm thinking of what that might be. Definitely some biscuitness, with a hint of cherries as well. So yeah, lemon and orange as well in the citrus aspect of it. Should be pretty good lacing from this one. I'm actually surprised this is so cloudy. I wouldn't expect that. Cheers. This is very full flavoured. Although I think they use the same yeast strain, it kind of reminds me of that Dead Guy Ale I had from Rogue. But anyways, it's fairly mild in terms of hops, which is only appropriate for the style. It's not as hoppy as APA or IPA or anything from that family. Definitely very fruity from the beginning to the end of the sip. You get very complex maltiness, and it kind of develops as you drink more of it. Just a tad of bitterness. Also, the finish is kind of bready, very malty, and yeah, it's got a bit of that orange citrus flavour to it as well at the end. Definitely medium body to it. Quite soft on the palate. So far this is good. Nothing outstanding, I'd say. I mean, still this is quite different from the ESBs I've tried coming from the UK, but nevertheless it's good. Get back to it. Didn't really impress me that much, I guess, this beer. It's a quality, it's a good beer from Rogue. Sit and taste all the ingredients and everything. It's full bodied, looks good, even though it's a bit paler and it's probably unfiltered. I can see some sediment floating in the glass. But first of all, the drinkability from my taste is very, it's just average at most. This is how much I have left, and the bottom is empty. First of all, I really feel the alcohol by now. I got quite a buzz going on, and I usually don't get that from drinking a bottle of 6.2 beer, so it's alcohol. Second of all, it's got kind of heavy and a bit syrup-like as it warmed up. But nevertheless, it's not probably the most potent. I grade the beers as of late. I try to grade the beers in terms of how well they perform in the style they're supposed to be in. So in this case, it's ESB. And when I think ESB, I think not so much hops. It's mostly like that really clear, complex malts you get, very fruity and biscuity and etc. In this case, I mean, it's complex, but it's not. It's a bit muddy. It's just not entirely up to the scale of true English ESBs. So I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. I mean, it's a good beer, but it's above average. But I think I'm not sure if I'll ever have this again. Maybe once, twice. But I'll certainly stick to English ESBs rather than going for this. So 7 out of 10 for Rogue Brittle Bitter. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's a good beer recommendation, slight one. It's tasty, but when I think of it as a style, it's just not entirely up there. But nevertheless, more good beers are coming up. I can assure you of that. So stay tuned. Don't leave me alone. Please comment if you can. Anything is appreciated. And as always, stick to good beer and see you guys later. Bye.